Hello, it's Patrick here from the GarageBandGuide.com. In this video, I'm going to take an in-depth look at Alchemy, one of the new features added to GarageBand iOS in update 2.2. Before we get stuck in though, I feel like I should address the elephant in the room here. Apple only made Alchemy available to its more recent iOS devices, so everybody could download GarageBand version 2.2, but you'd only get access to the Alchemy synth if you have an iPad Air 2 or higher, an iPhone 6 or higher, or an iPad Mini 4. Any iOS device older than that, so that includes like the original iPad Air, iPad Mini 3, or an iPhone 5S, you'll see GarageBand's basic synths here instead of the option to open Alchemy. So there was a big outcry and a lot of confusion about this when the 2.2 update came out, especially as the standalone Alchemy app works just fine on iOS devices as old as like an iPhone 4S. Why is this? Why have Apple limited the rollout of the Alchemy synth in GarageBand? A lot of speculation from some people thinking that evil Tim Cook is forcing you to upgrade your device. More likely it's a performance thing. All of the devices that will allow you to use Alchemy have an Apple A8 chip or higher, so that might be the reason. Who knows? All I know is there's a lot of very annoyed people out there. Yes, Alchemy is awesome. You may not be able to use it if you have an older iDevice. Yes, that sucks. Feel free to vent in the comments. Anyway, rant over. You'll find Alchemy right under the keyboard instrument in the instrument browser. Straight off, you'll notice it looks very similar to other touch instruments in GarageBand, with a few notable differences. Tapping on the menu at the top here opens the sound browser, where you can select from the over 150 patches available. We'll come back to this later on and check out some of the sounds available. I'll stick with the arpeggio animations patch for now. The pitch wheel lets you adjust the pitch of your instrument in real time. The modulation wheel adds expression and changes the sound of your instrument, again in real time. Here it acts kind of like a real-time filter. The transform pad is probably Alchemy's greatest feature, allowing you to morph between 8 sonic snapshots of your chosen patch. Now, if you're familiar with the way the transform pad works in GarageBand on Mac, then you're going to feel right at home here. You also have 12 dials here that will control different effects depending on the patch you have selected. There's 2 XY pads here. Moving the pucks on the XY pads allow you to change the parameters of the effects assigned to them. Now this will change again depending on what patches you have selected. The arrow keys on the left here move the keyboard up or down by octaves. Activating the latch control here will have any note you hit play back constantly without you holding it down. Tapping the latch control will stop any note you have currently going. In other patches, this will change to a sustain control, but it works in pretty much the same way. Now, you can control the keyboard in different ways with this switch. Glissando means that swiping horizontally plays notes on the keyboard pretty smoothly. Changing this to scroll will move the keyboard higher or lower when you swipe, and you can slide smoothly between notes by selecting pitch here. Tapping the scale button opens a list of scales for you to choose from. Now, selecting a scale changes the keyboard to show note bars in the scale that you have chosen, rather than the usual black and white keys. You can change the size and the layout of the keyboard by tapping the keyboard button. Now, if you have big sausage fingers like me, you might find a larger keyboard easier to play on, whereas the smaller keys here might suit someone with dainty, ladylike fingers a little better. You can have two split octave keyboards on top of each other here as well. Also find controls for adjusting velocity and key control. Non-arpeggiator patches, you can turn on an arpeggiator by hitting this button. You can then adjust the settings in the window that pops up. Finally, you can play your patch with chord strips by tapping this button. It works the same way as chord strips do in other touch instruments. Play chords higher or lower by tapping one of the 5 upper segments, and play bass chords by tapping one of the 3 lower segments. You can use the autoplay dial to play chords and bass notes together or separately in a pre-loaded pattern. So now that we've found our way around, here's a quick demo of some of my favourite sounds that Alchemy has to offer. There you have it. Alchemy is a stellar addition to GarageBand. The 150 plus patches not only sound fantastic, it's incredibly easy to dive in and create your own custom sounds as well. It's just a shame that Apple have made it so that not everyone who uses GarageBand can experience it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like. It really does help and I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you come and check out the GarageBandGuide.com for more great GarageBand tutorials. Bye for now.